More details in the forecast are coming up here in just a few minutes.
Bill, thank you. First at 5:30, developing news on the General Motors mess a day after the company's top exec says the automaker's likely headed toward bankruptcy. Some top-level GM officials now dumping more than 200,000 shares of stock. 24-hour News 8's Rick Albin joining us live in the newsroom now with more on your day. You were talking to your sources both here in Lansing on Capitol Hill on what the future may hold for GM now.
Takes the same from everybody. There is no good news for GM, at least not on this day. And just to give you an example, we're going to talk about stocks, how low they are. Last time they were this low, this is what a GM vehicle looked like. That can't be good. And it's really no big surprise that the stock took such a big dump after CEO Fritz Henderson said the company may indeed be heading for bankruptcy. GM shares dropped as much as 24% to hit a 76-year low of $1.09. Of course, it doesn't help. As you mentioned, Brian, a couple 100,000 shares plus of stock sold by General Motors executives with word of that possible impending reorganization in court. Question of what happens to GM, bankruptcy or no bankruptcy, has investors worried. At one point, GM stocks are trading at nearly double the average volume and sharply lower. We'll tell you about the closing in a moment. There are other concerns, too. Close to home. Yesterday, head of GM said that the company did not rule out the possibility of moving headquarters of the Michigan icon out of the state. That's an idea that does not set well. But it also is a big question about exactly what is going to happen if this thing goes into bankruptcy.
I think there's no doubt. They got to get restructured. They got to get a new agreement with their bondholders. They got to get a new agreement with their shareholders, with the UAW and all of those types of things. The sooner they can make those changes, the better off they are for long-term survival. So whatever enables them to get that done the quickest is probably the best way for them to go.
By the way, on the question of moving the headquarters out of Michigan, Michigan's senior senator, Carl Levin, says he has assurances that won't happen. But here's the deal. This all comes at the very same day that over at the Mackinac Center for Public Policy, David Lippman, a big name in the state who has been following this for a long time, says that because of the automakers and because of all the problems, unemployment in this state could go from 17 to 20% by the end of this year. That's absolutely right. That's his prediction. We're going to be talking with him tomorrow night on 24-hour News 8. Find out why he thinks that's going to happen. Look at his track record, and when you balance all that out, it's even scarier than it sounds, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Rick, thank you for that. In the meantime,